at 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 9.17 seconds, and poor phone has fallen down. This is the new Volkswagen Taigun, which is priced from rupees 13 lakhs going all the way to 22.83 lakhs for this variant, which is the top variant, which is the GT Line Sport. There's the GT Line Chrome, and this one costs rupees 30,000 more than that because it gets blackened out elements. And talking about blackened out elements, let me show you this awesome car perfume from Involve Your Senses. This is the Involve Black Musk. It's nice and strong. Strong in the sense of its smell. Smells really awesome. In fact, it makes the cabin smell damn freaking awesome. If you want a strong note, this is the one which offers it. Obviously, it does not leak at all and is super easy to regulate. You can get yours with a 10% discount using coupon code FASTBEAM. Click on the top right corner of the screen right now. Now, coming to this Taigun facelift, they have literally lifted the face because the design changes bring it in line with global VW models, and that's the reason it has this connected light bar between the headlights. It also gets the illuminated VW logo, which is very much visible in this bright sun as well, and the lights are new. These are all LED lights with auto leveling. This is actually the low beam, also the high beam, so when it's on high beam obviously it's brighter. This line connects completely throughout, and because this light is brighter and stronger when compared to before, the fog lamps have been removed. However, the Kushaq still gets fog lamps. Anyways, it gets 4 parking sensors at the front. Grille is new, changes to the bumper. Obviously, they have made changes to the front which make it look way better in person. Although in photos, I think the older car looks better. Anyway, straight away, let's open the engine bay because this is the GT line. Khulja. Can be a bit of a challenge. What am I doing? Yeah. It is having the 1.5 litre engine, but there is no insulation there. Surprise. Meanwhile, it obviously gets the GT badging here. No ADAS here, so no sensors, nothing for lane keep assist, no radar, none of that. Still no ADAS, which is kind of surprising. This is the indicator which takes place of the DRL, obviously. Now, coming to the side of the car, size-wise, everything remains the same. Sheet metal changes haven't been done, but they have spruced up the car to make it look fresher with obviously changes to multiple areas. Red colored brake calipers here because obviously GT line na. Black colored alloy wheels here. However, alloy wheel design could have been more adventurous. Here you get black molding, which is obviously plastic. GT badging here. This is finished in black. So basically gloss finishing here, gloss finish on the roof. Roof rails, they don't seem to be functional. They should be functional actually. I'm not too sure because these are big ones and you can see shaky. There you get the shark fin antenna as well. So what Volkswagen has done is given it a lot more features in the lower variants as well, which is fantastic. Volkswagen branding here. Request sensor on the passenger side as well, which is quite good because now car brands are not offering that. And once you step inside, you realize that the interior is more or less the same as before. You get this beautiful red stitching. You actually get 6 different interior color options depending on the variant you opt for. And door pockets are really big here. So obviously small Chintu bottles can be easily accommodated. However, there is no rear sun blind. And obviously in terms of space, you will not complain because there's good amount of knee room, foot room, leg room, everything is good. Under support is okay. It's not bad. It's not the best either.
Yeah, okay.
This is scooped out, but where is the magazine, or rather, this is the magazine pocket. Where is the smartphone pocket, which obviously is a simply clever thing, so it's not there here. Rear AC vents, 2 USB-C charging sockets, and center passenger gets a headrest and get a center armrest with twin cup holders as well. Oh my god, panoramic sunroof. Yes, it gets a panoramic sunroof in the top variant, which is fantastic. But unlike Skoda, which offers a sunroof from base variant, VW hasn't done that. And there is no rear seat massage. Yeah, rear seat massages have not been offered because Skoda is like, we will give it, but VW is like, we won't, because ours is a driver-centric car. So why do you need rear seat massages? But we cannot integrate it with the seat ventilation at the front. So no massage here. Interior also is spruced up a bit. It's more or less the same as before, just that the screens are better now. And no height adjustable seat belt. 6 airbags. There's a hook. There's a handle which is not damped here. And yeah, this finishing and all could be slightly better. So quality levels are fine, but yeah, things could be better because a lot of hard plastics on the dashboard. In fact, this car now has got a buyback option. Yeah, you get 78% back in 3 years when driven under 30,000 kilometers, which is actually quite nice. And this is the GT Line 1.5 rear discs with red colored brake calipers. Amazing. Coming to the rear of the car, it always had this infinity connected tail light. By the way, it also has welcome tail light animation. However, what's new? Well, the fact that it actually gets illumination on the VW logo here, rear wiper washer, high mounted stop lamps, rear spoiler, all that is obviously there from before. Taigun badging, GT badging, 3 parking sensors at the rear, not 4, and that is actually the rear fog. How do you identify if this is the 1.5 litre engine? Because we have got exhausts here which are dual exhausts, obviously. Dynamic swipe indicators, yeah, sequential indicators have been given. However, the boot remains the same as before, which is 385 liters. You don't get an umbrella with the car, obviously, and first aid kit is cheap. Here you get a light halogen and hook 3 kgs on both sides. Meanwhile, the spare wheel is not an alloy, it's actually smaller size. Yeah, this is 205 55 16. That is actually the subwoofer. Isofix child seat mounts. You can obviously put the seat down in, yeah, let me put it down and show it to you, 40-60 format. So one small punch is enough to do that. 40-60 format. So boot is decent size, not the biggest in the segment, but yeah, it's, yeah, accommodating. Hard plastics everywhere, obviously, considering this is sort of a budget car. Now coming to the tire size, did I already mention it or not? Because this is 205 55 17, and this is actually a new color. It's available in 9 colors, and a few of the colors are new. You see this chrome treatment here. Obviously with this green color you're not able to realize only the chrome treatment. 6-way power adjust seats at the front. Seat ventilation is there. GT badging has been given here. Aluminum pedals, proper dead pedal there, but lot of hard plastics almost everywhere. One touch up and down only for the driver's side. They should have given one touch up down for all the windows, because the Volkswagen Polo has it since so long. And obviously beautiful red stitching here, big door pockets, Taigun branding right here, and the seats are nice and comfortable. I really like the seats of this car, really nice, well done. You obviously get the GT badging on the steering wheel as well. Steering is superb, feels so nice to hold as well. Auto dimming mirror, here you don't get a mirror. Here you get a mirror, but you don't get a light only. So yeah, a few things could have been better here. You get a gloss black treatment here. Does not get a branded audio system, which is a big miss. Flat bottom treatment here. Proper physical buttons on the steering wheel. Some physical buttons here for seat ventilation. The ventilation is a bit loud. This is for stop start. But I don't like this AC functioning, because it's sort of a touch sensitive thing. So sometimes it doesn't really work as expected. You get a wireless charging pad, nice gear lever, because in the 1.5 you only get an automatic engine start button there. Oh, I turned off the car by mistake, and there is giving me information. There it turns on. New cluster. Yes, this 10.25 inch screen has been updated, which is actually fantastic. You've got multiple views here to see a lot of data, but compared to the Kushaq Monte Carlo, a few views are actually missing here. So yeah, that could have been better as well. Red stitching, nicely done. This is a 10.1 inch screen. It gets 15 apps here, and it has been updated. It's slicker, has better UI, all those things, but it doesn't get a 360-degree parking camera, and the rear camera view is a bit grainy. It should have occupied the full screen. It doesn't do that. Front and rear parking sensors it shows. To turn on traction control, you have to do it from the screen itself, because buttons are very few here. You get a proper handbrake, no electric parking brake, some cup holder storage. You can keep the key here. In fact, you can keep this awesome car perfume from Involve Your Senses right here. It fits like a T. Yeah, not a chai, but yeah, properly it fits in there. Now it's so secure, it will not move only. So yeah, there's a good nice place to actually keep your lovely car perfume. And this slides ahead and behind. There's some storage space here as well. The glove box is okay, decent size. It gets a cooling function as well, which is nice and fantastic. And different treatment here for the 1.5 or the GT when compared to the regular one. I kind of like both. Yeah, you will see in the POV how the interior of the 1 liter looks. So steering wheel is adjustable both for reach as well as rake, which is good. And obviously the cabin feels really nice and premium, other than the fact that lot of hard plastics have been given almost everywhere. So in terms of changes, not many have been done. It was a great opportunity to add ADAS, to add 360-degree parking camera, maybe rear seat massages and all those features, but unfortunately Skoda has done it, but not Skoda has also not done it. They have not given ADAS or 360-degree parking camera, but VW should have added massages. If Skoda is offering it, they should have also offered it, but they're like positioning is driver's car, driver's car, driver's car. So that hasn't happened. Plastic paddles, yeah, metal ones would be really nice. The horn is okay, not very VW type horn, a bit disappointing there. And yeah, there is a lot to do here, but you have to connect your phone to be able to use any of the internet services, so you can actually watch a video or anything of that sort. But how do you get internet from your phone? But there's some good news, because Hyundai has turned its focus on safety, and this car gets level 2 ADAS. See, it's saying Wi-Fi, no. But once you do that, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto will obviously disconnect. Both of them actually are wireless here. So yes, nice cabin, very sporty with this red treatment, obviously. And I definitely like it, but what I love is the fact that they've given a separate switch for the blind here. Yeah, separate switch for the blind and separate switch to open the glass area. So yeah, very thoughtful of them to actually do that, because usually one switch may you keep struggling how to open the sunroof or the sunblind. Here you have multiple switches, so that is actually a job well done. I really appreciate it. Yeah, the cabin quality is good in certain places, not so great in certain places. It could have been improved. Some soft material here would be nice. Competition in the segment is really heated up, because now we have the Tata Sierra, the new Seltos as well, which obviously offer a lot more features. Like for instance, obviously the Seltos has driver seat memory as well. Okay, it's so bright, and this actually brings in a lot of airiness inside the cabin. Come on, shut. Thankfully, this car has only 2 screens, one here, no third screen here. So again, very traditional in that sense, which is actually a good thing, because at the end of the day, people who buy a Volkswagen do it for the driving feel. But does it really impress on that front? Because right now, first we'll start driving the 1-liter engine, and yeah, soft limiter. What is this? So starting with the 1-liter, because there's some mechanical changes here. Leaving the car. Oh, thank you so much for reminding me. And it's obviously telling me the summary of the vehicle. Let's turn it on. Yeah, sounds a bit like diesel, because 3-cylinder engine only at startup, and then everything becomes very refined. No drive modes, nothing to go through. Let's turn off the air conditioning. Start stop system off, and off we go. And straight away, let me tell you that, okay, I'm not going to get into the throttle. I just leave the brake pedal and it crawls ahead with the same aggressiveness which was there earlier, but less aggressive now. So it's aggressive, but it's less aggressive, which is actually a very good thing, because earlier the crawling speed was like way too high. Now the big change here obviously happens to be the fact that this one now has got 8-speed gearbox. Earlier it was a 6-speed, both from Asin torque converter unit, and trust me, it's superb. It's absolutely amazing in the way it shifts gears. So straight on the throttle, can you hear? The engine becomes a bit vocal past 4000 RPM. So for the most part, you don't realize that this is a 3-cylinder engine, because even though it is, firstly we'll take a U-turn from here, even though the maps is telling me something else, yeah, effortless to drive this car. Come on, throttle, little bit of lag, lower down. We're going to stop here, and first thing first, I'm going to turn off the traction control system, for which I have to get into this screen, because they have put everything inside the screen only. So Volkswagen, there, traction control off. Let's reset this. It's the time for the moment of truth. I come into sport for the gearbox. No, I have to pull it behind for sport. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Yeah, it doesn't rev much. 2500 RPM. Hazard lights off, and off we go. No matter how fast you are, there's always going to be a Franx overtaking you. Anyways, let's see how fast it goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Come on. And that's 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 11.44 seconds, which is quite impressive considering there's someone sitting behind adding to the weight of the vehicle. But yes, this car really performs very well, because even though this is a 1-liter 3-cylinder engine known as the EA211, it is absolutely mind-blowing in the way it delivers power. For a pin-sized motor, it's very impressive. The power output remains the same as before, 115 PS and 178 Newton meters of torque, same as almost every other VW group car which has this 1-liter engine, including the epic and iconic Polo, which by the way I own. So in spite of the fact that the engine is the same, obviously updated to become more refined and comply with new emission norms, this still punches way above what you would expect from just 999cc. Very impressive. So refinement levels are okay, not the best lower down, because you can feel a bit of the 3-cylinderness. Between around 1500 to almost 3000 RPM, that's the sweet spot of refinement, smoothness, and you can't like feel a thing inside the cabin. That's the level of smoothness. I just turned maps on because I don't know where we are going. Very nice engine. Only thing, it becomes really vocal past 4000 RPM, but it's honestly the gearbox which impresses the most. Firstly, I'm getting 12.5 kilometers per litre fuel efficiency, which is quite amazing for someone who drives with a very heavy foot. Actually, I've been cruising along since morning, driven the car around 200 kilometers, been driving it since 5 hours, and I'm even more impressed but the level of refinement and smoothness this car has, somehow it feels quite plush. So Volkswagen has obviously done a great job there, but the performance is really very nice for 3 cylinders. In fact, why would you need the 1.5? You don't, because the 1 liter does the job pretty well. And with this new gearbox, it actually doesn't make you miss a DSG because the shifts are very fast here. You've got paddles here to make shifts on your own as well. Yeah, it's not lightning fast like a DSG, but it is quick enough. It's smooth, it's refined, but the gearing is very short. So you can see the red line comes in at 6000 RPM. It actually upshifts around 5800 RPM, 6000 RPM, somewhere around that. So it doesn't rev beyond 6000 RPM, not a very high revving motor, but it's turbocharged. And turbo petrol engines obviously drink a lot of fuel when you rev them really hard, because that's how a turbocharger works, right? By pushing in more air for better fuel, like fuel mix, air fuel mix, and whatever. You get the gist. Turbo engines, great. If you want performance, not really for efficiency, especially with a torque converter automatic gearbox. Now, this being 8-speed is better in terms of emissions, better in terms of fuel efficiency. In fact, Volkswagen's like fuel efficiency is improved by 5.8%, quite precise. But in the real world, expect somewhere around, I think, 10 to 14 kilometers per liter, depending on your driving style. Now, there are no drive modes here as such, so obviously, you're just reliant on making changes to the gearbox. So here, from manual to sport to normal drive mode, and then click on the paddles, you come into manual mode, slot the gearbox towards yourself, right, and then you've got the Triptronic function as well, which is actually quite nice here. Yeah, engine feels a bit stressed and coarse in the higher end of the rev range, and not in a good way, because it kind of feels like, yeah, it's vocal and you can hear a lot inside the cabin. But again, powertrain same as what Skoda is offering. So this is the AQ300, the earlier one was the AQ250. Great gearbox, fantastic, and this engine is also available with a manual gearbox option, which is good because the 1.5 does not get a manual gearbox option. Drive it sedately or drive it with part throttle, you will never miss the 1.5 because it just gets the job done. It's only when you want to make quick overtakes you realize, yeah, I need that extra power, because obviously the 1.5 liter engine is way more powerful, faster as well, but this is not slow by any means of imagination. Quite quick. Do I miss a diesel? Definitely yes. This segment is obviously dominated by diesel. You can see 3 cars ahead, out of which 2 of them are diesel. So 66% diesel market share on the road ahead of me. But why is everybody having a white car? I'm clueless. In terms of steering, it does feel light, weighs up decently well, but I think out on the highway the steering could have had more weight. That would have been really nice as well. And the brakes are nice and strong, but 1 liter does not get rear discs. That's a bit of a problem. Yeah, come on, we need rear discs at least, but that's only there on the 1.5. So performance, very good here. Handling, good enough. More weight on the steering would be nice, but body control, amazing. Handling, superb. Ride a bit on the stiffer side, because European car, obviously stiffly sprung. And in terms of overall high-speed stability, fantastic for something which is SUV body shape with high ground clearance. So driving dynamics continue to be fantastic in the Volkswagen Taigun, or any Volkswagen car for that matter, because at the end of the day, it's all about driving feel for Volkswagen, and this car just does not disappoint in that regard. Phenomenal. Now it's the time to jump into the 1.5, which honestly is something I love. This engine is so phenomenal. Connect, bro, connect. Let's turn off the AC. AC is actually improved. Yeah, I can validate that. Even in this heat, AC is working better because they have switched from a fixed displacement compressor to a variable displacement compressor. So that has definitely worked. Oh, no, you don't shut down. We need to time the car. And straight away, I am going to just maneuver this car out of this tight spot, which shouldn't be a challenge because the steering is obviously light. Yeah, it's quite light. I just wish this thing would have occupied the whole thing. By the way, red colored ambient lighting, that has been given now, which is kind of cool. And look at how effortless the steering is. Front and rear parking sensors right there. Centers beautifully and nicely as well. So the thing about this car is that most people obviously end up buying the 1 liter because obviously price wise it's more aggressive. 2.5 lakhs cheaper, 1 liter by the way. And actually the Kushaq turns out to be rupees 20,000 cheaper when compared to this car. Whichever variant, like I'm looking at the top models, but yeah, the Kushaq is actually cheaper, starts at lower price, top end is also at a lower price. Obviously now the whole VW group, including Skoda, understand that cost of ownership is very important. That's the reason why this comes with 4 years of warranty, 4 years of roadside assistance, and 3 labor-free services. They're not going to charge you for labor cost and all that. And straight away, let's get onto the highway here. This car is smooth. It's actually smoother than the 1 liter, obviously, because it's a 4-cylinder engine. 4-cylinder is a 4-cylinder is a 4-cylinder. There are no two ways about it. Come on, wipe. There's no spray. Water is over. When and how did that happen? Okay, stop start can be a bit frustrating. Let's turn that off as well. There it says deactivated. Straight away, let me come into sport mode here for the gearbox. And you can immediately feel the addition of another cylinder has made this car way more refined. So that smoothness is definitely there. And onto the throttle, and I was lying when I told you that the 1 litre is as good as the 1.5, because the 1.5 is in a different league altogether. The level of performance, the thrust, the acceleration is absolutely mind-numbing. What an engine! Sounds so much better. And if I come to drive mode here and I take it easy, it has got something on a cylinder deactivation technology, which will cut 2 out of the 4 cylinders to run the car on just 2 cylinders, thereby reducing fuel consumption. So if you drive this sanely, you can get as much efficiency or even more when compared to a 1 litre engine, which is absolutely fantastic, because this 1.5 litre engine, 4-cylinder unit, the EA211, I don't know why both have the same freaking code name, but this one produces 150 horsepower and 250 Newton meters of torque. This is the segment benchmark when it comes to powertrains. Everybody needs to learn from Volkswagen how to make a petrol engine, because this 1.5 is absolutely damn freaking awesome. Great performance, very fast with shifts thanks to the 7-speed dual clutch automatic gearbox, the DSG, paddle shifters here. Let me come into sport mode right now, and as soon as I go into the throttle, it responds. And how sweet mid-range, fantastic top end. It's not a very high revving engine because it redlines at around 6,500 RPM. It's a turbo engine obviously, but it has accelerating performance, feels fast, is fast, and you just feel so good driving this car. I love this 1.5, but there is a problem, and the problem is obviously there is no manual anymore. Yeah, they discontinued the manual some time back, but yeah, a manual here would be so awesome, because a manual gearbox offers you so much more control. But in spite of the fact that there's no manual here, it is still very fast, very engaging to drive. The problem here is there's no insulation under the engine bay, on the hood actually, and that is something which is visible. However, what's not visible is they're not even insulated certain parts under the body. So this is the MQB A0iN. There's no insulation as such around the suspension area and all, and that's the reason why this car can get a bit loud in terms of road noise, in terms of tire noise, in terms of outside noise and all. So that obviously can be felt inside the cabin, and obviously when you rev the motor a bit hard, it becomes loud. Although I find it sporty, most people will be like, this is not to our liking, but I like it. I like the sound of this engine. It feels so smooth to drive, and especially when you push it hard, you realize this is phenomenal. What an engine, what an engine, and what an engine. Anyways, I'll just keep my phone here for wireless charging so that it juices up. They've given you all the convenience in the car, which is a good thing. A 12 volt would have been really nice, but I'm being nitpicky because now everything works on USB-C in the world, and that's how things should be. What is this horn? We should have a better horn, obviously. Typical European tuning of the suspension, stiff at lower speeds, so you kind of crash through big and bad bumps. But as you speed up, it smoothens out beautifully, giving you a fantastic ride and excellent high-speed stability. Ride is also good. Okay, there is body roll, there has to be, but overall ride and handling balance is actually very, very, very impressive. And this obviously being the one with rear discs has better braking performance too. Steering is a bit light, what I feel. I think they could have given more weight. Obviously, mechanically nothing has changed on the 1.5, because how do you improve something which is already that damn good? You can't, you don't, you won't. So let's come into manual mode here. It is so fast and so fun as well. But how fast is it to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour is what I need to find out. And I'm waiting for a nice patch of road where I can give it the beans. But unfortunately, either the roads are not empty, and the empty ones are either upslope or downslope. Where am I? No man's land. We are somewhere between Chandigarh and Jammu, around Pathankot. Just listen to the engine. It's also very aggressive in downshifts. Right now I did the downshift, but the DSG box does not hesitate. It's only at lower speeds you can feel that, there's a hesitation which happens, feels a bit jerky, sometimes confused, but that's only, stop-go traffic as such. Get onto the highway, this is a different beast altogether, and that is the essence of a Volkswagen. It's all about the driving feel. When you drive this car, you are going to smile, and I know it misses out on a lot of features. Competition has gone 2-3 steps ahead in terms of offering so much more tech and features and gadgets. VW is like, no, we'll still charge you more, but we'll give you a driving experience unlike any other. And in that regard, this car is absolutely unparalleled, unmatched. Because get onto the throttle, and the kind of smile it blasts on your face is unbelievable. Flat out, this will hit 200 kilometers per hour. Not every car can do those kind of speeds, at least not in the segment. So that's another very impressive thing about this car, is the way it gathers space. It's telling me to upshift to 7th gear because I am really redlining it high. And if you drive it the way I'm driving right now, expect single digit numbers, nothing more than that. 6 to 7 kilometers per liter is what you can get. Drive it a bit more sedately, let cylinder deactivation kick in or active cylinder technology kick in, and then you are looking at a fuel efficiency which is almost as close to the 1 liter, which is very, very, very impressive as well. Oh, beautiful. I hope you guys can hear it. If not, let's listen to some music. Audio quality is good, not great. So yeah, they could have given a better audio system because competition obviously offers a lot more. So that's a bit of a problem here, but the braking performance is splendid. It is so sure-footed. The brakes really impressive. The way this car actually stops. So let me find a good spot to stop, because everywhere you look at that I'm going to stop, some or the other truck is parked. So it's like an open parking lot right here. And I think I see some corners, which is where this car absolutely excels. Such great body control, good amount of grip on offer, feels fantastic. Okay, now it's time to test the 0 to 100 km/h acceleration of this car. Traction control off, sport display on, into sport mode, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, hazard lights off, revving the motor. The problem with the DSG, it doesn't rev till 1500 RPM and off we go. Come on, yeah, 1 second gone here itself and off we go. Maybe this Alto will help me go faster by giving me a tow. And that 0 to 100 km/h in 9.4 seconds. Earlier did it in 9.17 seconds. It just doesn't roll off the line quick enough. So that's the problem with the DSG. That lag has been intentionally put so the gearbox doesn't blow, and that's the reason why manual is better, because the manual would launch much aggressively and much more faster still. So yeah, that's a bit of an issue there. But anyways, this looks so cool. I think this is newly added. I think this cluster looks better than the one on the 1 liter as well. And in terms of safety, 5-star rating from Global NCAP, which is like before, obviously, because there's no change as such to the structure of the car. It will retain that rating. Now, there are 11 variants on offer, same as the Kushaq. The Kushaq also gets 11 variants, and by the way, it has got Hey VW voice commands, but right now, I think internet is not there. I have to connect it, I have to pair it, and then only it should work. So it has also got something known as brake disc wiping, and although I'm giving it the beans right now, I ease off the throttle. I've left the throttle completely. I come into regular drive mode and just see the magic, because now we are in range display for the multi-information display. And as soon as I get into that, okay, car will shift into 7th gear, and hopefully you will see 2-cylinder mode. Yeah, I get into the brakes. It was briefly there, 2-cylinder mode. It should come again. Because yeah, that is it, 2-cylinder mode. This is now a 750cc engine, 2-cylinder unit with 75 horsepower and 125 Newton meters of torque. Now, maths doesn't math like that, but you get the drift. This is one of the most amazing technologies in the world. Cylinder deactivation. It's like you have your cake and you can eat it too. And technically speaking, no other car brand offers this feature in the mass market segment. So kudos to VW for offering us that. So guys, this is my video of the Taigun facelift. Car is as good as ever. Mechanically, it's super sorted. Just that it misses out on certain features which would have really elevated the value proposition of this car. But VW thinks that people who buy their cars are more focused on the driving experience and not on features. Although I kind of feel that everyone wants tangibility in what they pay money for, at least in India, and features are very tangible. 360-degree parking cameras. This lady is recording everything I'm saying. Everything I've said, she's written it down there. What is this? This can be written, like I can use this as a, I don't know, transponder or translator or taking notes or something of that sort, which is crazy. Just shut up. No, you don't need to do all that. So, if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. That's the like button. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Bye-bye. And before we go, don't forget to check out the GT Sport of the Musk range. This involved black musk. Simply awesome. Click somewhere on the top right of the screen right now to get yours. Bye.